Hey there, beautiful friends. Alright, so welcome back to my channel. My name is Lonnie, and today we're going to be doing an animal spirit totem reading. I was out on my last day of work, and lo and behold, I find this crow feather, beautiful, just sticking straight out of the ground. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, what does this mean? My spirit animal has found me, because, they choose you. They choose you. So whether it's a dream state, waking state, well, this one's calling to me, and I figured it's time to share that knowledge and wealth to you guys and see what you might be picking up on, what animal is calling out to you. So, with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. Pile 1, we've got the Dendritic Opal. Pile 2, we've got the pink Chalcedony. And for pile 3, we have the beautiful Fluorite. I thought it was like rainbow fluorite or something because it does shine really beautifully in the light. Looking gorgeous. Hovering over the raven. With the pink Chalcedony, we have horse spirit. And with the Dendrite Opal, we have butterfly spirit. So these animals could be, or beings, creatures, could have been calling out to you, landed on your shoulder. You might have seen one in a field somewhere. It could have reached out to you. And we're going to dive a little deeper into what this could mean for you and what their messages are as far as us moving into some new energy for this upcoming year. Although this will be a timeless reading. So it's more so just a call. What's the energy calling you? What's the big message? So I'm going to get an up-close picture for y'all. We can check this out together and see the beauty of these stones, if that's what you might feel called to and drawn to. Okay, so pile 1, you have chosen the butterfly card. And the Dendritic Opal. Dendritic Opal. Now this stone stimulates personal and spiritual growth. It enhances intuition and knowledge. You could have also noticed lately that your crown chakra and third eye has been blocked. You could have issues stimulating that or feeling connected to that energy. You could be listening to frequencies on YouTube to connect with that as you fall asleep at night. The butterfly has been nudging you to connect with the divine, or this could be something that you've been working on with your spiritual journey, with the intention solely to heal. I felt in my heart space that there is a lot of fear within you, and that it might be attached to physical childhood pain. And it was that feeling of just wanting to escape that childhood trauma. So you might be connecting with the divine to heal that pain that you might have felt growing up. In your friend group, you bring a lightweight energy. You bring a lightweight energy anyway into any room that you enter. Your friend group might also be more black cat, darker aesthetic, because the butterfly aids the raven. And I would say the butterfly could be best friends to the raven, and that's an indigenous culture. Try to do my research before I got started. But you also might know that this reading's for you. You might not have felt so attractive growing up. Not necessarily the ugly duckling, but you were always beautiful, especially on the inside. And through this trial and error of the trauma that you've been through and not feeling so outwardly, aesthetically beautiful by any beauty standard, that it gave you the gift of perseverance. Your energy ended up being light and buoyant, and that is a gift. So for pile 1, we're going to go ahead and get started. Pulling some of your tarot cards. So angel, spirit guides, ancestors, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Joviel, and Uriel, ask that you watch over me and watch over our collective as you help connect our energies from my guides to theirs. How is Butterfly Spirit reaching out to Pile 1? How can they know that they're being heard? Anything else? Alright, so we got a few cards that came out. We are going to rearrange these for you. Two of Cups. Hierophant came out last. We'll do this here. We've got all your cards lined up from the Two of Cups, the Empress, Eight of Wands in reverse, the Fool in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse. But don't run so soon. These are not bad cards. I went ahead and channeled your reading for you. So with the Two of Cups, the Butterfly, really Spirit is reaching out to you to open up your pathways to become a channel. And you might be blocking that third eye, that intuitive part of yourself. You can't quite connect to it. Spirit is encouraging you to work with the divine. Use your curiosity to kindle, to rekindle and deepen that relationship to Spirit. They're coming in with an offer of resources and stability. So drink deeply from this cup. This is love, compassion, and synchronicity, all lining up. This will aid to healing and mental fatigue, to healing any mental fatigue. With the Empress here, have you let your creativity just fall off to the side? As Venus shifts during this time, I feel this fertile, fervent energy arising, kind of like that sexy hair flip. Not quite Jennifer's body, but you know when they're like, you miss me? Do you miss me? That's kind of what it's giving. Do you feel that old part of yourself coming back to you, just in glints, maybe in waves? She's back. Have you forgotten to celebrate yourself? Spread your wings, my love. Spread your wings. Take in your own vibrance. She's leaning back here, enjoying the fruit. You know? Boobies out. You know, I was just sitting there, barbecue sauce in my, you know, like vibing, having a great time. So, so take in your own vibrance. Spread your wings. Blue and green aura. You have a blue and green aura. It surrounds your energy. It's giving serenity and peace. There are glints of red showing that passion, and it's beginning to take flight, or at least you need to let it. There's passion here, so come forth. It's been a season of cold, and grounding has not been comfortable. It's not like how it used to be. That's why there's been a hindrance in your third eye and your crown space. You've poured so much of your loving and nurturing energy out into the world because your heart is huge. Your heart is so big. And like the butterfly, you support your ravens. You support your team and you brighten your ecosystem. When you feel your colors dull, remember it's time for self-nourishment. It's okay to pour back into yourself. Look at the colors too in the butterfly. There's blue and purple here, matching up perfectly to this Empress and Two of Cups energy. And there's also two beings here too. Two beautiful Madonnas, two beautiful women. Again, with saying that there's your inner part of yourself that you might have been like, I don't know if you were conventionally attractive, but you've grown through that. You've always been beautiful, always. It's time to stoke those flames. It's time to stoke those flames. It's time to nourish yourself. So, the opal and the butterfly signify spiritual transformation. the butterfly has presented itself to you. Which way has the butterfly presented itself to you? Think of the season. Think of its colors. Did it evoke joy? Did a tear fall from your eyes? Did you feel a loved one's presence from this butterfly? New life is coming your way. If you felt dead inside, know that again you will rise and reemerge. Awaken. This life has been somber for too long. Open your palm, release your grip, and feel the butterfly dance on your skin. Give her a cool drink, sugar, water, and nectar. Add some sweetness back into your life. Add some sweetness. So moving on to this other side of this energy with the Eight of Wands, the Fool, and Two of Wands in reverse. These all coincide and go perfectly with each other. When your cup is empty and you are in a blockage, how do you find an exit? You go head first and impulsively, or at least that's what you've been doing. You just jump right in. That's your energy. That's your spirit. You are used to just, screw it, I'm just going to jump right in and try it. You know, maybe you're open to new things and maybe it ends up biting you in the butt right after. So you go head first. You work impulsively. Your actual work, your job consumes your time. You tend to ruminate in love stories. And when we pulled, we're going to pull for your oracle cards and see what comes out. So I'm going to pull your oracle cards next. And for pile one, what actions have been pulling them at the seams? What actions have been pulling pile one? And what arch are they focusing on? What is the art form for pile one? What is the art form for pile one? On that love being your art form, and you can see what came out, spilled milk, but more so this energy. I love how 222 popped out, rings, telephone, and pioneer, also with the lovely couple right here on happening now. So this is something happening currently with your love life. Maybe that's caught your eye. I also have a channeled message on that too. Love is your art form. It brings you joy. But there's so much going on that your art has taken a side seat. Love becomes your art. Passion is the paintbrush, and you gaze upon the canvas. Each brushstroke is a delicate kiss. You hold the canvas. You glow, you beam in serenity. But there are strings that pull you, and before you know it, you're right back at work. Your art form is incomplete. This place may also be your comfort zone, and you might be afraid to use your wings. You might be afraid to fly. But this is your chance, and as you step into this new season, it's so imperative that you show off your colors. You don't need to rush, or you could get burnt out, going back to that Eight of Wands energy. So ground yourself, breathe, and take the daily and weekly steps to get there. Keep going. And with the Two of Wands as well, there's so much going on with this whirlwind of ideas that before you know it, you're right back at work. Your art is taking the hit. You know, our creativity comes from spirit too. When we're tapped right in, that creativity comes so easily. And I feel like you know this. I feel like you've been there before, but you may have lost it. You may have lost that zone that you get into when you connect, when you dive in. It might be hard to just tap back into that beauty and to taste that essence. But keep going. And with the Hierophant in reverse, this also pairs quite well with the Pioneer, especially with facing challenges. You are making your own way. Pioneers on that Amish path, I don't know if you remember Oregon Trail, but you're making your own way. You're making your own traditions. It reminds me of that Amish girl on TikTok and how she just goes against all of the rules. She has 2 phones and she will make funny videos on TikTok, and she's just going against the grain, and it's won her an amassed amount of views. She is probably at this point making, if she can, money off of TikTok just by doing what she felt called to do and where her passions lied, showing off her baking recipes. And it might be old-timey, but it ends up being pretty cool because it goes against the grain. Who else is thinking of that? Who else is thinking outside the box? You are. That's you. You need to think outside the box, because this could come so easily when you tap into your creativity and you don't hold yourself back. There is something there for you. Be different. Do something fun and be different. If painting is your passion, paint. If paragliding is your passion, then do that. If you want to go to a butterfly garden and take the pictures at those butterfly museums, you need to go there if you feel called to. Because life is short, baby. You gotta taste it and let your essence just flourish. Go against the grain and the terrain. Butterflies are not bound to walk on land, honey. They have wings. So follow this 2-2-2 energy of partnerships, of finding balance. I also wanted to pull on your partnership as well. Let's see who this partner might be, shall we? So who is this love? Goodness, I think I feel a little bit of anxious nervousness just dropping that. So let's go back to it. Who may this love interest might be? Do we have any signs and signals, angels? All right. So we've got a couple different cards that came out. Let's see. Coming in to offer resources and stability. This card came out as well. So I feel like this is your spiritual team coming in to offer resources and stability. But this also could be the partner that you rely on. Maybe they are there for you in hard times. You may give them a phone call. The phone is also red. I see passion here, reaching out loud and clear on a 2-way street. They hear you. This person also may be a mirror for you as well. You may think this is your perfect match. This could be your perfect match. And they also could come in with guidance as well. So this person could be your guru. You may feel like your person is your spirit guide, your in life daily spirit guide. I once met someone I loved very much that I was so used to being the guide. I was so used to being the nurturer and the strong one. And when this person came in for me, I didn't even understand that I could meet someone that way, that would love me in such a way where I could feel completely safe, where the connection was so strong. It was like they were mirroring me, but in just all my beautiful and kind aspects. Even my art forms and our passions and our spirituality reflected each other. It was a beautiful thing. This person could be born in the year of the rat or the dragon. This year could be a very prominent birthday, as we're in the year of the dragon now. I think. Yes. In the year of the dragon now. You could be in the year of the monkey. It's 1992, 1980, 1968, 1956, and 1944. Those could be prominent years for the times that you've met your person. They are quick-witted, charming, lucky, and adaptable, bright, versatile, lively, curious, and smart. So these are things that bring in something beautiful. It could also be a life path 9 or born in September. I think when you start taking these steps to pursue your passion and let that love stoke the flames of your passion truly, after evenings with this person, get straight to your canvas, whatever that might look like for you. Do not abandon your art form out of laziness, and don't abandon it out of the duty you feel to your job. You are a hard worker, especially with Beehive showing up too. And this has shown up in my dream state lately. You are devoted to the job. Maybe you know that the harder you work, the more fruit that you get from this job by staying busy. You're able to harvest more. But don't let this offer of a harvest through your work stop the offer of the harvest that spirit could be giving you through your creativity. What ventures can you take as you step forward into that? God send on this rainbow energy, spirit, God is literally sending you good luck. You've had so much patience that I think you might be forgetting that abundance is coming your way. Patience pays off. Patience is on here twice. I'm surprised maybe temperance didn't come out, but patience, a butterfly waits in the chrysalis for so long before they're able to show off that beautiful spectrum of colors in their wings. Your heart is that pot of gold as well. That wealth within you, that wealth inside of you. But knowing that financial wealth might be coming your way too, especially reaping your rewards as you step into the next few months. Rely on your team. Like I said, butterfly with the ravens around you. Ravens are great, reliable friends as well. And they always, birds, right? Some can be messenger birds as well. With great wisdom. And this person too, there's so much love here. They're both happy and joyful, and the fella here has black pants on, so maybe underneath that light and bright energy is a darker black cat energy, where it's just cool, brooding. Could be a Scorpio, could be the cool Taurus. Get tapped into their energy, and don't forget to create after you feel the passion arise, the steam come from what your love is. Don't abandon your journey. Don't abandon your art. Take your time as well, especially with the Fool in reverse too. Take your time. Eight of Wands as well. Eight of Wands and the Fool went perfectly hand in hand with taking your time. Do not rush. There's what's meant for you will be there. We all know that. What's meant for you is for you, and will be there at the end of the day. Duality and union, a settling of the energy, love and balance. These are all things that are being coveted and treated as sacred. So don't forget to treat yourself the same. All right, my loves. Well, I feel like that was the message. I feel like that was strong, powerful, and potent. Again, with this beautiful opal here too. Yeah, check out the Dendritic opal and butterfly, and look that up on your time too, and see how those two also coincide with each other. I think that this was a lovely reading. We found the Who, we have your oracle reading. Let's get some messages from the Cosmic Oracle, and just double tap in on any last messages that the butterfly spirit might have for you that God wants you to hear. So what are any last messages, Holy Spirit, that our collective needs to hear for their forward movement on their art form, not abandoning their art? I'm not abandoning their art form. Not abandoning their art form. This is a new year. Be authentic. Anything else is just exhausting. Yes, and as you gaze down on your path too, same colors, purple and green, again coming out. The person standing there alone, looking around. Be authentic. Anything else is just exhausting. You don't want to be the person that is just copying what the next person is doing. It takes the fun out of it. It takes the goodness out of it. And people know when you're being for real, when you are BFFRing. It's better just to stay tapped into your own energy, because it comes easier. It comes naturally that way. and you will have better nights of rest. Why would you want to feel exhausted and strung out, not pulling from your art form the way that God intended you to pull from it? It ends up, you end up crying and stuff. No one wants that, baby. It's a new time. It's a new time to dive into that love and luck and energy surrounding you. See if we have any final messages for our beautiful collective. Any final messages for the collective spirit? For pile 1, any final messages for pile 1? Honestly, this might be it. This might have been just the last bit of the reading for you guys. I think nothing really wants to come out. Oh. Well, King of Pentacles in reverse came out. And I remember seeing one of the cards say too, don't let anyone walk all over you. I feel like this could be a boss, and this could be something that gets you down. It could also be a parent that is kind of disapproving. Again, with at the beginning of the reading, I was saying something about a childhood abuse and trauma that you have carried into your adult life and that you've actively been healing. This is something that you know and that you've asked Spirit to help you heal from. So don't let these things trample over your success that you could be stepping into. Don't let this take from your wealth, because God has already promised you the abundance coming your way. These people will drag you down and will suck your energy, especially when they know that you are blessed with an art form that not everyone was gifted. People can be jealous and greedy, and you offer them one thing and they pull and they take until there's absolutely nothing left inside of you. So don't you dare give up your goodness, sweetie. Don't you dare give up your goodness. You are as beautiful as this Dendritic Opal and more. And don't let anyone ever parasite their way off of your energy, because it takes so much. As a nurturing person, it takes so much to even get that energy back. Like, I think my flame just went out as well. Right. My flame just went out in my salt lamp. It takes so much energy to keep your own fire going. And then you have bitter people who want to take until the last bit of your flame goes out. That's not fair to you. It's not. Your art form must come first. You are a pioneer, okay? You're doing something different on the path, and people are going to watch you take it and second guess you and ask you why you're doing it. What you're going to do is go back to your team, and you're going to confide in your closest friends and, say, buzz off to the haters, because you deserve better. And you know this. So with those words, those empowering words of wisdom, my friends, I will leave you with that, pile 1. Thank you for joining me again on another reading on your spirit animal totem. Hey there, pile 1. So I heard that I'm not done with you yet. It's time for a second look at your reading for the butterfly spirit. I'm just going to do this pretty much like raw and just hop right into it. Taking a second look, I feel like there's some unfinished business and maybe waiting for a love to return back into your life that may not have been there before. So Spirit, my guides, angels, Raphael, Jovial, Uriel, and Raphael. Ooh, and Michael. I'm calling him Raphael twice. But I just wanted to get some clarity for pile 1, the butterfly energy in their space, in the vicinity, watching over them, showing as a symbol as to what their energy is. I feel like we could use the second clarifier, because that reading was far too short. I feel like they deserve to know a little bit more about what might be going on in their energy. Feel some messages from the butterfly spirit as far as this unfinished business, an unfinished reading. The messages were just not long enough, and I feel like they could use some more clarity on stepping out into the world. So for pile 1, 6 of Swords, thank you. It's nice and clear if you can. I don't mind taking time. I feel like that was a bit too much, so I'm gonna keep shuffling. All right. Okay, pile one. So the first thing that fell out was Six of Swords, and it did come out sideways. I'm not going to change it. I think it's perfectly sideways for a reason. It's all based on indecision. This whole deck, this whole spread is based on indecision as far as your artistic side and turning it into something that you could really reap the benefits from. And it definitely felt like unfinished business, because that's what indecision is. The feeling of when it's time to move on and go forward, but you get stuck in limbo. You're stuck in between. Six of Swords is the type of Six of Swords energy that you're stuck in between is transition and migration and being stuck in resistance. So you're stuck in between transition and resistant to migration. You're just resistant and stuck to this beautiful energy that could and should be happening for you. It's like you tied both shoelaces together and then you took a step like a 90s sitcom. You're tethered to your comfort zone, but not in a way that's beneficial and healthy to you as well. With the King of Pentacles and Eight of Swords, I ask, what's next for you? When you believe in yourself and become your own biggest cheerleader, no one can tell you anything. So get used to telling your fears to shove it. You don't seem foolish when you follow your own heart and your passion. It's meant for you. No one can do what you do the way that you do it. I'm hearing handpicked. Handpicked. Don't let the opportunity evade you. If you knew how beautiful the outcome would be, this King of Pentacles, if you knew how beautiful the outcome would be, wouldn't you at least want to try? Wouldn't you at least want to put in the work and give it a real go, a real try, and watch this path unfold? You might be able to put your friends on as well, and help bless them by starting this venture. You never know the other people in your life it could affect, and help these people on their come up too. Not out of like their own like gain for anything wrong reasons, but this is something where you can be blessing, truly blessing those around you because of your gift. And I think you're clipping your own wings. You're clipping your own wings by not taking this step forward. There are open doors here. There are definitely open doors here. Have you ever given anything 100% of your energy as well? And saying that 100% makes me think of the Seven of Wands. So we have the Seven of Wands, Two of Swords, King of Swords, Four of Wands, Princess of Wands in reverse. And again, the Two of Swords is also indecision. So we have a lot of overthinking and going forward and taking a step back and then going back to your art and not being able to make a clear choice on it. With the Knight, I know the Knight of Swords doesn't have the best reputation, but in this instance for you, this is something totally different. I see a blacksmith inspecting the blade. Do you think that your work is not good enough for the world? Don't take shortcuts to make your work. I don't think that's what you do. You don't take shortcuts. You would rather make sure that it's perfect. But do you act on it? You pick at it all day and everything, but what about the next step forward? You treat your art like a baby. It's your baby, it's your love, it's your true love and passion, and you work at it, in and out. But you back out of it too. It's your fear of doing the thing. Like, go do the thing. You know, let me be great, you know? Like, this could be you. You could be great. You could be doing the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Like, your team is literally chancing at you to do the thing. They believe in you, okay? Now, do you believe in you? You got the 7 of Wands above, showing imposter syndrome. It's looming above all these other cards of like just maybe doing it, maybe not doing it. Imposter syndrome is looming above all this other energy. Imposter syndrome is looming above you. With the 4 of Wands, your creativity yields beautiful results. It's like you've made the time to be artistic. You have the time to build this foundation of being artistic and creating the space to be that thoughtful artist and letting your creativity flow out of you with these beautiful prism beams. But it's not really a prison, it's a prism, excuse me. You pick away at the quality. Are you the main one picking apart your work? I feel like it's just you. Or maybe like when you grew up, your parents used to really like, you know, it's not better, bring me home an A+, no B+, no C+, I need an A+. So maybe you're hard on yourself and have perfectionism from the way that you were growing up, knowing that you should be doing your best and that you're okay. You know, your okay days were not acceptable. But as an adult, your okay days are acceptable because that's still beautiful art. Someone might look at your C+ and think that, oh my goodness, this is the most beautiful thing. I would pay $500 for this. You know, whatever the price may be for whatever you're selling, someone is willing to pay top dollar for some of the things that you think are not worth it. There are plenty of people out here doing what is not their calling and doing half-assed at it while you're over here picking it apart when someone that doesn't have twice the skill as you is thriving and living their best life. There was some guy that found his way into Drake's party and, you know, told the security that he made the painting or made some painting. Drake's father told him to bring it to him as a surprise. He wiggled his way in, kind of crazy story, but he wiggled his way into the party. Drake sees the painting, and now this man sells his paintings from $250 now to $25K, $20 to $25K a painting because he got the okay on it. Now, will your story be that extravagant? Maybe, but you don't know because you haven't tried yet. Okay, babe? This could be you. Now, we've got Princess of Wands in reverse. It feels like the fear of rejection. It feels like if I do this for money, I won't love it anymore. I'm not sure if that's entirely true, though, looking at the big picture of everything. Some people get to do what they love for a living, and that could be you in the future. Getting stuck in perfectionism brings us back to the 2 of Swords and decision. You are good enough. You are to be celebrated, and you must believe in yourself. I feel like you're hijacking your own happiness and keeping yourself from stepping into this new warrior, badass princess or prince energy while going back to being like a blacksmith and just dinging away at the same old piece of metal. And I think when a blacksmith overworks that metal too, it can break, it can crack, and then you have to start all over again and take even more time to perfect that art again and have to start from a fresh new piece of canvas. Let your love flow freely with your art. No one can tell you that it's wrong because it's art. People have splashed paint down and sold it for thousands, and it's amazing. You know, try Facebook Marketplace. If you're ever in a rut and you don't know where to sell your art at, try Facebook Marketplace first and foremost, because there's some lovely housewife or, you know, some guy in his garage that needs something for his man cave. You never know who you run across, and these people will be put into your life for a reason. Sometimes there is no reason. Sometimes stuff just happens and it's beautiful. So give yourself a chance to let yourself get into the space of being blessed by others, because you deserve it as well. You deserve it just as much as the next guy does. Don't let your indecision eat you and tear you up. Like you're not good enough, like you're undeserving of this of the outcome, because you haven't even tried it yet. How do you know when you haven't even tried this yet? And if you felt kind of dead on the inside from not making any decision, or when you make the decision and you try and it doesn't get the result that you want, like say you post a song on Spotify and you're still under the 1,000 count, or you post a song on TikTok and you only get 10 likes, just because there's a band called Wet Bandits, and if they ever gave up, I would have never heard their music, and they're life-changing. If you hear Slow Rider by Wet Bandits, that song is life-changing. And not all of their songs are viral, and some of them are they're catching up now. But they were slow for years. Their following was slow for years. And if they ever gave up, no one would hear the beauty of this music that they make. Just because you're not getting the views that you want on your music does not mean, or your art, your whatever it is that you make, just because the views aren't there doesn't mean that your art isn't worth it. And in this society, it's easy to get caught up into the instant gratification of what it is for someone to like or love what we're posting online. Sometimes people aren't just getting the content, and the algorithm is no help, my love. So don't blame yourself. Just keep trying and keep posting, or try a different venture. Don't be afraid to try a new source of being. Like, you might try TikTok, try Facebook Marketplace, try doing gigs in person. Like, especially if you have all this information up, it might be time to try singing at a bar, or doing open mic nights, or just trying a different way. So whatever way you've tried, try something different, because you never know which way that the universe will open itself up to you to be able to try these new experiences and opportunities. By you being indecisive, that's what's causing your blockage that we were talking about in part 1. So it's easy to see now where that block is coming from, letting your creative side fall off, and that spark coming back, like, oh my God, do you miss me? Like, girl, I've been, it'll like peacock at you a little bit, and I think it's time for you to grab that peacock by its neck and, shake that thing around and grab a hold of your talent. Grab a hold of your talent. I think it makes more sense now looking back to it, like, love is your art form. It might not be specifically a person, but the love that you have, because love, passion, art, creativity, sensuality all comes and stems from that same place from spirit. So I hope that definitely made some sense on that first half, and coming back to it. Each brushstroke is a delicate kiss, whether it's with music, art, maybe you design like shoes, maybe you do graphic design. Whatever way that you make your thumbprint in this world, do not give up, because other people need that. You are inspiring. Sometimes you don't know who you're inspiring by finally taking flight. So get inspired. Maybe make some art of butterflies. Use the butterfly as your spirit totem. Look further into it if you can. The season's about to change here on the south. As we step into this new part of 2024, we're entering the spring of 2024 if you're seeing this then. But for the most part, this is a timeless reading, and this might be another light of fire underneath them buns for you, just to hear the message of your art is valid, your art is worth it, and people are waiting to hear it. So hear that, hear me, and hear your guides, and pray about it if you need to, and make the time and the space in your heart to get creative and believe in yourself. If you have to ask for confidence, I would ask Holy Spirit for confidence, ask God for confidence, ask the universe for some confidence as a backing, because you are worth it. If you don't believe in anything, believe in your freaking self. And that's my final statement on that as far as creating a part 2. I just know there was another meaning, another message for the butterfly totem on pile 1. Y'all need to know how special y'all are, and that there is something here for you to venture out with for moving forward, and really trusting and believing yourself. And also looking at this opal too, and seeing how different it is, and how much different color there is in this, how smooth the stone is. I wish I could just hand it to you, but maybe go to your local shop, find some dendritic opal. Be well, my friends, and take care. It's been a blessing having you here today. I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Alrighty. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It's your girl, Lonnie. We're gonna knock out pile number 2 and get started with y'all's reading. We're right off the rip, just from the color of my incense smoke, someone is, don't want to freak you out, but I feel like you might have been through some deep trouble, whether it was from the past couple of months or just maybe recently. But for pile number 1, and even yesterday when I was burning smoke and I cleansed my own energy, and my room is a pretty safe space where I do this, so I don't think this is me. And I asked too, like, is this me or is this the collective? And it blew to the collective side, and I just want to give you my love and let you know that you're not alone and that we're going to figure it out together. That Spirit has your back, that the universe is looking out for you. You just got to sometimes lock in and tap into the divine. Lean on our angels when we can't do it alone. That we're not alone, but we can't do it alone. Sometimes we have to open up. So for pile number 2, you have been leaning towards the pink chrysocolla, and this is regarding the heart chakra energy. It's kind of like rose quartz. You also chose the horse spirit. This is your guide that has chosen you. You may have seen imagery of horseback riding that you want to do recently. You might have seen horses in a field, horses on a road trip. You might have had dreams about horses lately, or even been very in touch with that movie Spirit. That horse movie that is it Pixar? But that animated movie from a long time ago, about 20 years ago now. It was called Spirit, and that was one of my favorite movies growing up. And even the horse here is yellow. Yellow white horse possibly. So pink Chalcedony helps us tap into love and compassion, to use your intuition to hear and to feel better, like your senses, to hear and to feel more with your senses basically, and read between the lines of what isn't spoken. Kind of gives me that like Scorpion. I don't know why I just felt like maybe it might be a Scorpio, but reading between the lines is something they do very well. Your ability to empathize with others runs deep. You inadvertently end up protecting others, using yourself as a body shield. Your energy soothes others. Be mindful of perfectionism. Be proud of you as you are. You're already lovely as you are. Your body is already as lovely as it is. You are the whole package. This will also help you, or this is a sign to lighten the load of emotional distress. You could very well be feeling at your wit's end lately. I've seen it where I can't take this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Pops up in my head. Tapping into this type of energy with the pink Chalcedony, that love energy, is very much like a rose quartz energy, and this will raise you and heighten your vibration. The pink Chalcedony is a quartz mineral. I've seen that it can be found along like shorelines, and if it's a quartz mineral, I might be able to find it definitely in Brazil, because you know we get all of our good gems from there. Your ability to empathize with others runs deep. And maybe that's where I should start it too. Your ability to empathize with others runs deep. You inadvertently end up protecting others, and it feels like you use yourself as a body shield. Your energy soothes others. Be mindful of perfectionism and be proud of you. You are already as lovely, and your body is already lovely as it is. This is a sign to lighten the load of emotional distress, and tapping into this energy will raise and heighten your vibration. So if you've been feeling low, this is a way that you can definitely level yourself up and feel better in the heart space. With the horse spirit, I question if you are in community already, that you have a heart of servitude, that you don't mind being in an act of service to help others, that you have a nurturing and mothering spirit, like the mare. Horse loyalty. Horses have... When I thought of horses and their loyalty, it made me think of Lord of the Rings. Sadly, I'm a nerd at heart, but it made me think of Lord of the Rings. When Gandalf calls for Shadow, he whistles for him. And across the lands of what was New Zealand, but across the land, Shadow will come from shore to shore, the beck of Gandalf's whistle. And while that appearance, the manifestation of Shadow might take some time, Shadow never gives up on Gandalf. Shadow always will find a way to Gandalf. They have extreme loyalty, and at any end, they are there to be, they're extremely reliable, and that's you. I think you are an extremely reliable person, much like the horse spirit. There are also two faces in this card as well. It makes me feel like that's your inner wisdom, an inner wisdom within you, a grandmother spirit. I heard sacred blood. So there might be a sacred connection between you and the elders, the women elders in your family, or the women elders that you might have adopted in life that aren't just related by blood, but this would most likely be a very, very much so sacred blood, not union, but a sacred blood line within your family. You might be just tapped in so deeply that your grandmother's line is strong, with the definitely strong wisdom, caring, nurturing energy, resilient energy. You're highly intuitive and emotional. That's what the horse spirit is pulling. Horses also will try the heck out of you when you first meet them. You're meant to build a relationship with a horse. And I remember once when I went horseback riding that I think his name was Spot, and he had not a spot on him. He was a yellow horse. And he was slick. He was a pain in my butt because he took me for a canter straight into a gallop. I wanted to just try the slow way, and I thought we'd go for a trot, and he ended up trying the heck out of me and kicking up into a gallop, which I've never been in before. And I held on tight and just like did not let go. I did my best to show Spot that I wouldn't back down, and that I was gonna fall off the horse while he's going 45 miles an hour is what it felt like. 45 miles an hour though on horseback. Do you let go and break every bone in your body, or do you hold on and master that adventure? And gosh, I felt like a different person coming off of that horse that day. You probably couldn't tell me nothing after enduring that So all right, so back to it. Just covering horse spirit. Let's see. Yeah, so when you are horseback riding, or when you are around horses, I think they test you to see where to place you at sometimes, and to see how to respect you. I think they can put the ignorant in their place. You are heavily connected to the spirit world and to the spiritual side of this world. You have been locked in probably since you were a young child. As most of us were, our gifts are so easy to, I wouldn't say access, but it's like, we're born with these gifts, and I think the ways of the world teach us to turn away from them or to be ashamed of them. But you've always been in touch with the spiritual world. It's so therapeutic being with a horse too. They are hyper vigilant. Notice their sense of smell, the sound, how sensitive they are to sound, and with movement. Any movements that are like on the outskirts, they pick it up quickly. They can sense danger, which is why they are so helpful when it comes to being in wars back in the day, in historic times. Their choice of vehicle was a horse, because it can sense the intentions of others. And that might be one of the gifts that the horse spirit has given to you, or that simply that the horse spirit represents within you. To be able to sniff out the intentions of others, you possess immense agility and strength. Have you ever thought about grounding through the horse stance as well? In martial arts, we have the horse stance, and you can strengthen your pelvic floor that way. And it might be something that you need to heal a lot of times too, after dealing with partners and unhealthy relationships. I think we can forget like how important it is and how freeing it can feel to do the work with your pelvic floor and to get back in touch. It's also goddess pose before you go to bed at night. It's a yoga stance, the goddess pose, moon pose, but pretty much it's the horse stance. And it can strengthen your quads too, and your bum muscles. But I really feel like you've gained a lot of wisdom, and that it's been passed down through generations. That's sacred blood coming back, passed down through generations. There's also a glimpse of the ocean in this picture as well. I sense new horizons and beginnings and adventure. You have a gentle heart and a gentle spirit. But I feel like people might see not a rough exterior, but horses loom. The demeanor of a horse's strength and their height too. Dealing with what, like a stallion, this person will be looming over you, and other people might feel intimidated by your presence. But you have such a gentle heart, and even your eyes are gentle. You might have big brown eyes. Gentle eyes, gentle heart. You daydream of freedom. You daydream of roaming with the other horses and being free and freeing your heart space. You might have felt trapped lately too. When I started your reading, I literally felt unsafe. And I felt so good about when I pulled all 3 cards, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a spirit animal totem. This is gonna be cute. It's gonna be fun. And then not that I forget, but then you get tapped in, and there's the reality of it, and I just feel like there's pain they're just pain. Like that might be why we're called right now to work with the heart space with a rose quartz type stone, the pink Chalcedony, to really work and heal the heart space, because I feel like that might be a rough patch to deal with in this time. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some tarot cards. We'll be using the Mystic Mondays deck. Angels and guides from mine to theirs, I ask that you guide my hands and make this deck sharp like razors, Lord. Holy Spirit, so I don't miss this message. And make my mind cunning. I ask for wisdom and guidance. Thank you. I ask for wisdom and guidance. If these are the cards that are needed, I ask that you bring them back out. Full spread for pile 2. What does pile 2 need to know? From their horse spirit, what does pile 2 need to know, with the horse being a symbol and a pillar of their heart space? What does pile 2 need to know? Full spread, please. Five of Pentacles did want to come out earlier. I just asked, are we fighting anything? And Five of Pentacles in reverse comes out. What is up with the sense of freedom? And is there anything else? All right. I will take this. And now we arrange the cards. Nine of Pentacles came out last, so I'll set this here. We've got the Moon, Two of Cups, and Five of Pentacles. Death in reverse. Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords, Hanged Woman, and Five of Cups. Okay, so there's definitely been a lot of pain and a lot of darkness in your heart space. And when I started the reading too, and I felt trampled, like horse spirit, but why did I hear trampled when I first got started? I didn't want to, you know, I try not to, I keep it in my mind, and I sit on the information sometimes until it's time to pull. And then I try to create a bigger picture with what is given to me. Thank you, Spirit. And I'm so sorry. Like, this is the type of thing where, shoot, Spirit's handing you a sword. It makes me want to hand you a sword so we can fight together. You need strength, and I feel like a lot of love right now. And also, that's, again, with the pink Chalcedony, but that's just a symbol, a symbol. Okay, I've got to come back to your spread and channel. Oh my goodness, okay. All right, guys, we're back. So okay, so this is our spread with the Five of Cups and the Hanged Woman. Know this. How many times do you have to go back and see? Or back just to see? You reflect so much inside your mind, but try not to ruminate on the setbacks that have occurred. It's fallen apart so much that you blame yourself and you get caught up in the lapse of judgment calls. This would have never happened. It's what you tell yourself. This would have never happened if I didn't do, you know. Your mind is busy until all hell breaks loose. You get stuck and finally you see. But if you move with patience, you'll be able to see the long-term goal. Give yourself a chance, just like you've given everybody else. Give yourself the chance, give yourself a break. You cut everyone else slack, and you deserve that too. You've had to do this on your own. They didn't believe in you. They don't believe in you. They've made you feel that way, at least. You've had barely enough strength to get back up with the Ten of Swords. The depression feels like a plague, an illness, and yet you still linger in limbo. You ask yourself, what is this pain? Or at least that's what I asked when I was pulling too, right? What is this pain? Between that and the Five of Pentacles. I also am hearing that you're strong, or that there is a strong mother, but you might be a really strong mom, or a strong nurturer. You take on so much and you care for everyone else. You could be the mom friend. But sometimes too, when we are that person, Other people take and take from you, thinking that you have this endless resource of loving energy, that you have this endless resource of love. And while you feel like you have been able to go back and recharge in the past, sometimes that well can be ran dry. And then what do you pull from when those resources, when that sparkle is gone? You have to go back in and nurture yourself first before you can even worry about the others, which leaves you in this state of suspension of, well, I handled this before quite well, but oh snap, I can't take much more of this. I can't take it anymore. Don't ruminate on the setbacks that have occurred. You ask yourself, will I find a way out? How do I survive this? And you're still here. You may have also been through a round of addiction or addictive patterns, and you have been in a type of recovery. And this goes back to you doing the work too, that you're the one that does the work. And these people that have watched you fall or go through this hard time, they don't understand and they don't know the work that you've put into to put that beauty in your life. You've had so much happen to you, they don't understand how you are so gentle, and the kindness that you have, the resilience that you've had to stand back up after being in a Ten of Swords moment. And this moment might have happened again and again, and you might have gone through a cycle of being knocked down and being able to pull yourself out. You ask yourself, how do I survive this? And you're still here. On this side of the this side of the scales, we have the Moon, Two of Cups, and Death in reverse. And in between this junction of your pain, there's a Five of Pentacles in reverse, juxtaposing the Nine of Pentacles as well. During this time of pain as well, you've had to shut others out. The Moon, Five of Pentacles is what I'm going off of. You've had to shut others out. Don't let their voice drown out your inner voice. You turn inward and reflect. You look to your higher self and take the hand. That's what, when you go inward and you look inside and you connect and you do your healing process, sometimes their voice booms over yours. You can't even hear yourself when you go back to the place of how you heal. It's been too hard to tap into that source that was once there. But you are not alone. And that's something too where we feel disconnected. We have to go back and revamp this whole system. Have you had to shut the others out? Don't let their voice drown out your inner voice. You turn inward and reflect. You look to your higher self and take the hand that will pull you up and out of this dark vibration. And with Death and Five of Pentacles, don't stay in that dark space too long. It's time to trample your fears with that horse spirit. It's time to trample that fear, to gallop, to finally take it from that slow and depressing place into a place of high burst energy. It's time to let yourself be free. It's time to trample your fears. It's time to step out of that dark place. You long to be free. You long to be free. Now, the question is, I guess, how do you get there, right? It's a shame too. You're such a gentle spirit and such a kind person too. I can just feel the energy, but I feel like it's become a bit cold. You can't help but have, You know, you can't be peppy all the time. You can't be super happy all the time and be that source of, people might come up to you and, you know, they're coming up to you to get some of that good energy that you have, and you're like depleted. What are you looking for? Because I sure as heck don't have it. You know, not right now. Has life become beige? Has life become beige? Plain. Are you daydreaming a lot too, to pull yourself out of that mental space? Maybe the longing of being elsewhere, and maybe in a warmer climate as well. Seeing as though right now during this filming, we are in a winter. And you might be in the winter of your life right now, waiting for that summer, that brightness to bring you out of a dark place. You daydream, especially with the moon here too. You daydream. Could you imagine how a horse locked in an enclosure feels? And then they turn and look, and there's a fleet, there's a herd of the free. There's a group of horses prancing, galloping, cantering away into the sunset on a bright summer's day, while you are trapped in this enclosure, locked in. I would be bucking. I would be jumping up and down like, hey, let me out of here, attempting to leap over the gates of this entrapment. Could you imagine how a horse must feel when they're born to be wild and free out in the fields? Do you long to be a part of that too? So do you long to be a part of that feeling? Even not with just horse spirit, but going back to the moon and Two of Cups as well. Do you long for love? Do you long for connection? You think you are in prison, but look again. The enclosure has been open the whole time. I saw something that says sometimes that we play a part in our own suffering. And that's where your guides are looking to pull you out of the space that you've been in the mental hell that you are wallowing in. And sometimes we just need a little sign to coax us out of this entrapment, of this enclosure. You could have jumped over the enclosure a while ago, but sometimes we end up ruminating and redigesting this space of just a cycle of entrapment. We go back to understanding and feeling the pain, and that puts your body back in that state, metabolizing what happened to you and chewing on that pain. You can't move forward when you are reliving that time of pain and suffering in your head back to back. And it's hard to pull ourselves out of that space. And I think that's also where ego comes in place too. Like, how dare someone leave me here in this darkness? How dare someone, you know, let me get down this low? How dare a substance let me get this low? With a breaking addiction, even with like using TikTok or social media addiction, substance addiction, people that we're addicted to, and we go back to them. We think that, well, there's that rush of dopamine that I was looking for, and then when they don't text back or they don't respond to you and leave you ghosted, you go back into the cycle of feeling that pain, like something is being withheld from you. So let's get a symbol on what's keeping you from joining the flock. What's keeping pile 2 from joining the flock? What's keeping pile 2 from joining the flock? We have Thunderstorm, Labyrinth, White Rabbit, Corset, in emerald. And right off the rip too, you have this pink energy, you're feminine. You could be fighting and battling your femininity. You could be blocking that completely. You're trying to hold it together. You might not be allowing yourself to cry. You might have no tears left inside, just to hold it together and making sure that others, people pleaser, by making sure that others are okay before your own needs. That was at the beginning of the reading with the horse card, that you might be protecting others just to, I know I put that somewhere. Using your body as a shield. Your ability to empathize with others runs deep. You inadvertently end up protecting others and using your body, your emotions, your aura as a shield. And people look to it and they'll come back to you and look for that. Well, you protected me before. You were mothering energies to me before you were nurtured me. And now I can't pull that from you. Why aren't you letting me people please? Why aren't you people pleasing me now? You hold it together, and what you have to do now is establish this boundary and move forward with it. You might already be doing that now and moving towards that energy of being pulled out of that pain. In this maze, in this labyrinth of emotion, you think you found the way out. You get to an opening. You think that you're getting closer and closer, and then you're like, whoa, that's not even it. You spend too much time inward. And maybe that's a good thing too, because spiritual quest is on here. There is a way out of the labyrinth. And maybe I was watching something called, I think, Marshall. It's an anime. And he just tears off one of the walls to the maze. Who said you have to go through this whole maze? You could climb up to the tops and jump from each. I have dreams like that. My opponent will think that they've got me. And I start jumping through the treetops. Finding my way out. You are not about to have me. I think the heck not. No. On this spiritual quest, there is a way out. It might have taken such a long way to get there. But there is a way. And when there's thunder, Spirit, the Holy Spirit, God, and your guides are on your side. They're lighting the way and they're lighting the pathway. And you might only be able to see the storm. You might only be able to feel an out of control energy that is taking you swept you off your feet. You don't even think, swept you off your feet and left you face down. You can't tell that there is an opportunity to overcome. Maybe it seems dark when there's thunderstorms, the power goes out, the electric display out of control, power out. Maybe the power is out and you have to find a way, light all the candles in the house and be the light in the darkness. Opportunity to overcome. You might not be able to see the path when the lightning happens and there's thunder. Like a strobe light, do you power your way through this darkness, through this dark maze? Do you power yourself out when there's glints of light? Are you able to use those moments of light to pull yourself closer and closer to the exit? There is a way out of this pain. And at the end of it, I do believe that there is soul restoration. That's what you're moving through and towards, is a soul restoration, a way to heal your own heart. And it's so hard sometimes for us to be able to know that we can do it when we are at the last bit of our sparkle, the last bit of our good energy that people have sucked right out of us. Your ability to heal is unlike any other. You're able to come back, but you've got to come back to yourself. You might be looking inward in the wrong place, spiraling over the pain. It's time for a shift in energy and to change. White Rabbit. Heed the call. Dark to light. Waking from the dream. It's time. Maybe there have been tugs with you seeing the light, with you having that reassurance from your guides reaching out to you. While you're in the maze, you could be heading towards freedom, spiritual quest, spiritual awakening. You've been in the dark. It's pushing you to this light path. That's how you become free. You have to, I think you might already believe in yourself, but this is your confirmation and your push to say screw it and keep going, because you've already got this. Your enemies are waiting to see you stay down. People will come back and check your social media and want to see you in that same dark place. And then maybe they fake congratulate you when you make it out of it. But what they're not expecting is for you to make it out of it. Stand up, sis. My dear. Stand up. And this grandmother spirit too, this energy from this bloodline, from this sacred blood, that's who's helping you. They're pulling you out of this darkness. They're pulling you out of this energy because they know you have it within you. She tramples your enemies under her hoof. She uses her body to shield you from pain. You mirror those qualities, and it's a beautiful thing. But it's time for you to be the one that's protected, and you don't have to do the protecting all the time. Let your guides take over. Give them permission to step in and help be the flashlight to lead you out, to help be the lightning that creates a new path. Have you seen those beautiful things of when those beautiful moments on television or even in life when it's like a heat storm and the thunder is scattering across the sky in such a bright pattern? We had some last year, some heat storms coming through, and the way it would light up the sky was tremendous. Let them be your guide. It's time to reconnect in whatever way you ground, especially as the seasons get warmer and you have, if grounding outside and getting your feet in some dirt is what you do, then ground that way. Because it's time to get back in touch and honor that horse within, honor that strength within you, a pillar of strength within you. It's time to lighten the load of emotional distress, my love. Tapping into this energy will raise and heighten your vibration. Going back to Nine of Pentacles. And Five of Pentacles in opposition, but maybe a melding of energy. Have you been digging apart your self-worth? You are meant for more than this. Don't limit yourself or your value based on what those raging voices from earlier, whatever those people have been telling you. Don't limit your value to what they've said. When you go and ruminate and think of these hard times when you had to go inside of yourself, don't limit yourself. And when you think you have to stay there, don't, because that is you limiting yourself. When there is that path, that fence that you can jump over to be free. You know, they say the devil is a liar. And it's true. Don't limit yourself. And don't lower your value either. To fit other people's wants and needs. The peacock here is in reverse. The peacock here is upside down. Maybe you are limiting and shutting off and dimming your colors and your light to let someone else shine. And yeah, that's confirmation from my sound bowls. Jinxing, basically, someone is trying to block your light. You could have a jealous spirit, a jealous person around you that does not want to see you flourish, and that some people do get a kick out of seeing you down. When you post those sad girl memes or sad boy memes of you in a distressed place, some people know it and they might not say anything, but notice who's watching your story every day. Notice who goes through every single post and just like pocket watches you. Notice who watches you. And sometimes too, when we change our look or we're changing our style or we're putting more effort into it, we might still think that we look raggedy. You might have changed your hair and I saw someone say they got the baby bangs and did the lashes and the eyeliner to feel more like the Black Cat energy, like more goth. And they feel like they can't do it like the other girls do. But that's them limiting themselves. And you can't limit yourself, because you'll look back in 5 months at those pictures you took in your camera roll and be like, who was that hottie? Don't let the time pass you by, because time is precious too. While you're limiting yourself and hating on yourself, what you need to tell yourself and hear yourself to raise your vibration is that you are baddie, that you are beautiful, that you are that king or queen. You need to be your best cheerleader, because your spirit guides are already working their butt off trying to help you see. It's your turn to lighten the load off of yourself, because you're diminishing their efforts. You can't see how you've already changed. And you're not alone either. Your guides and angels are, like I said, they're working their butt off to protect you. And they've been covering you in protection. Let's see how your guides are viewing you right now. What energy are they viewing you in right now? Where do they want to see you? Ah, that's a little bit much. Let me narrow it down. I don't want to give you guys the wrong thing, but I do like when the spread branches out. So let's try that again. I need just a couple of cards, please. How your guides view you. Oh, that was a weak shuffle. Let's try again, shall we, for a tight shuffle. There we go. All right. How your guides view you. All right. Four of Wands. You've had breakdowns with friends, right? Relationships with your friends not going well. And while this is happening, I think it's time for you to come home to yourself. Actually, this fell over here, so we'll respect that. It's time for you to come home to yourself. You may have put yourself out on the front steps just to make sure this friend is comfortable. I just got this vision, this view of you sitting outside of your own home, knees to chest, at the front door, getting some space, catching some air, just to make space for this other person. But are they creating space for you? There's so much, this tension and pause within yourself, that there's a lack of structure in that friend group. And you have to pull yourself out to keep yourself safe. I think it might be also blocking your ability to manifest new things, because you have old friends at your door that are there. Also got a view of when there's chickens, like they're waiting to baby bird your energy. They're waiting like beak up to catch. If the blessing was falling towards you, they're waiting for the pieces on the edge to fall off and take those pieces of what you might be letting fall through your fingers. So if there's anything you couldn't catch, they're there ready to, and not pick up the pieces in a good way. They're ready to take the sparkle that you might not feel is there for you. So beware, I guess, of this friend group. Your spirit group what they think of you is they need protection, that you need to come home to yourself. Maybe you've put yourself out on the front steps just to make sure other people are comfortable at your own expense. And that is not fair to you. And that is not fair to you. Who is it? Because I'm kind of agitated. I actually feel kind of agitated. Who is it? I'm using the deck. Who is it that's agitating? Sheesh. Who is it? Show yourself. Coming in with advice and guidance. They're here to, your spirit guides are watching you. I got Sagittarius wanted to come out. Wow. Yeah, Sagittarius came out. Who is it? And the card didn't want to come out either. It felt like it was hiding underneath the others. It felt sneaky. Irresponsible, superficial, and impatient. I've had people around me before that were superficial, and they were their friends that all they could talk about, the only substance in our conversation was their nails getting done and their hair getting done and what man could do it for them. And those were the people that I had around me that I didn't realize until the very end that they never cared. And I found other groups of friends that were able to take care of me, and I found my people in my group that was a safe and secure place. But I've had moments where I'd be bawling my eyes out and all they could do was twerk. All they could do is worry about their next fresh set of nails. They would come in with advice and guidance too, but it was all self-serving. So it's better to just listen to the advice and guidance coming from your spirit guides sometimes, instead of these people that have nothing good to say. So let me know if Sagittarius is confirmation for you with anything that you've been dealing with. Let's get a message from the Cosmic Oracle. That's this beautiful deck right here. Spirit team. Is there anything that they should be? Pile 2 is not alone. What do you have for them? For Pile 2. Pile 2 is not alone. And it might be hard for them to see that they aren't alone in this. Is it? Oh, it's shea butter. Ha! Shea butter, baby. Alright, might be hard for them to see. What do you have for them to reflect on? Woo! Live your life with both feet in. Commit to fully being here. I feel like when we're in the midst of depression sometimes, like this dark gray energy, commit to fully being here. Live with both feet in. It's so easy to tiptoe when you're scared. It sounds like you're letting fear be the one that's leading. Wake up, go to work, brush your teeth, come home, go to sleep, eat the same meal, not allowing yourself to go on that vacation, not spending the money. Scarcity mindset too, with 5 Pentacles in reverse. Live your life with both feet in. And the other one, you could use some self-care like now. Schedule it in. Let your colors fly. You could use some self-care. Schedule it in. Yeah, it's time to put you first, baby. It's time to put you first. Other people have benefited from your sunshine, from your femininity, and from your glow. And they care not to be there while you go through a suffering point. The best thing you can do while you are in the shadow is take care of yourself first. Create ways. Sometimes it's not necessarily this superficial way we have to take care of ourselves too. Self-care is not all hair and makeup. Self-care can flow differently, especially when you are a spiritual and intuitive person. Self-care runs differently. Spending your days in nature, grounding, having your feet in the dirt, having a bonfire with your friends and feeling that energy, being able to lock in with the earth, because that's where we need to recharge from. Whatever way grounding looks like for you, it's time to tap back in. It's time to honor that spirit within you. It's time to honor you. You've honored others. You've made other people feel special, and you have forgotten yourself. And it's time to pour back into yourself, because you deserve it. You truly deserve it. I want to go into the Two of Cups. It could be self-love. It could be a new budding connection. Could we have a symbol of the love in Two of Cups? a symbol for the love of Two of Cups. Tandem, bicycle, synchronized energy. The synchronization for Two of Cups. Ooh. Okay, these kind of just like gently flew out, so we're going to hold on to these. Old car. So we got chess and old car. Also had kerosene and baggage came out quite heavily too. They just kind of plopped right down on this left side. So kerosene and baggage just plopped right out. And then you have chess and old car gliding out of the deck. Old habits die hard. This makes me think of your rumination, the good old days. You've been enduring the pain over and over and over again, and now you need restoration. Now it's time for the self-care. Now it's time for you to live both feet in. You could use some self-care like now. Retired, exhaustion. You could use some self-care. You might be stuck in the past, and even there's a pasture in this picture as well. And everything here is old and brown and used. Much like an old car, maybe it's the feeling of being an old horse. You don't even see yourself being able to have the physical energy to feel free to run with the others. That's why the self-care has been overdue. It's time to pour back into yourself, because old cars can still run. Sometimes all they need is a new wrap and a little TLC with the engine and a little tinkering of the parts within, and you can bounce back. The old cars, and then you have car shows where those oldies look better than the new cars. And I'm an oldies kind of girl. Have you ever seen a Bel Air, a restored Bel Air? Gorgeous, just gorgeous, okay? That could be you. So plan to move into a place of power. Plan to move into your higher self, because it's already happening. This chess piece is already getting pushed over. There is a course of action happening, I think, from your spiritual team, and they've got your back. They're ready. This is also they're going to be Virgo energy. Just do diligence and hard work, because not all things in beauty of life can come easily. But when we're able to pull ourselves out of an old tension of energy, the blocks, the dominoes start moving. It doesn't have to be a bad domino piece. It could be the pieces falling into place as they should, because you've made the first initial steps. You've made the first initial steps to let there be change. The baggage, set your baggage on fire. Got baggage and kerosene. You have been gripping the pain. Again, there's so much showing that you've just been gripping onto this pain, and it's so hard for you to release it. It's been a long journey of feeling like it's time to go, and you're right back where you started. Let this fiery energy push you into where you need to be. Let it accelerate like a catalyst of joy. Be prepared for joy to come into your life. And it might have been a long and slow road, but if you're at the bottom of that mountain right now, the only way to go is up. And it's time to push that boulder, or to walk around the boulder, basically. You don't even have to push a boulder. You can walk around the boulder and go boulder free up the hill. So see how you can pull yourself out of the dark place that you are and continue to persevere. I heard it's time to strike the iron while it's hot. So when you get that push and that sparkle that day, if you're an artist and you usually don't feel any creativity, when you do feel like, okay, I have the best day ever today, I'm going to go home and I'm going to go paint. I finally feel, pushing the table, sorry. I finally feel this spark, this wave to follow through with it. You might not feel that spark tomorrow. So while you have this energy to move forward, it's time for you to move into it. And you might see synchronicities along the way when we're pulling for Two of Cups initially. Simpatico, tandem bicycle. It's time. It's time. Partnerships will align. I think, and this too might be the reward when you are stepping out of this blockage, because how can you see anything bright coming your way when you are stuck in such darkness? And even with the moon, she's looking out at the brightest aspect, the moon and the stars, but she's so far away on this iceberg. How does she even reach it? How does she even get there? But there is a plan. Alignment. Yes. Alignment. You'll fall into alignment too. Look, you have 7 and 7 too. I didn't realize baggage and kerosene are 7-7 energy. And that goes back to 7, reflection. Turn reflection into mastery. If you're back there so much, maybe too, like with chess master plan, you don't even see. While you're sitting there reflecting that your spiritual team is there. They have your back. They know that you've had all this responsibility on your shoulders, but you may not have even been able to realize while you're gripping to this pain and this old fear of the past. It's time to open your eyes and see that there is something new coming in. You're stepping into an alignment that you can't run from. This is for you. This new wave of energy is for you. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Other people will have to earn your trust as well, but before you even have to worry about them, learn to trust you first, because everything you've done has kept you alive and you've been able to survive, but now it's time to step into that thriving energy. It's time to get out of the cycle of fear that we're in, or that you're in, and know that if you trust yourself and you trust your team, that you will be able to pull through this. And a team, when you trust your team, horses move. Another word for herd for horses is a team. And sometimes a horse cannot pull the weight of what the farmer, or, you know, they can't pull a weight by themselves. So we get horsepower of a team. You and your team will pull through. You won't be alone. You won't be alone through this, because this energy, that sacred bloodline, is helping you pull through. If you've ever seen Sailor Moon and you're watching the opening credits, when Sailor Moon at the end of the season, I don't want to spoil it for you, but the spirits of the other Sailor Guides, she's alone at the end of the season, and she has to fight the boss. She has to fight the biggest boss, and she feels like she's alone. And all of a sudden, her guides, the other Sailor Scouts, she has, oh gosh, the septum, right? She has the scepter, the heart scepter, and she holds it out, right? Like she usually does, usual Sailor Moon type style. And the other girls reach around and hold her hand, and you just see like the other Sailor Scouts all grabbing onto the scepter to give her their energy, and she can't, like lift the scepter alone. They're there like giving her the most insane encouragement. I was bawling my eyes out by that last episode because it was so touching. Could you imagine literally feeling the energy of not just your ancestors, but beings that have like passed, your close friends? Like, this is her team. You can't pull this weight without the team behind you. So when there's that sacred bloodline pulling the carriage of the weight of pain that you felt, look at this spread. When I pulled it, your smoke was black from the incense. The beginning of this reading, the smoke was black as night. That was your energy of all the pain. I almost was fearful, like, what did I do wrong? Before I pulled your cards, I was like, I blessed my room, I blessed this space. Why is this energy so dark? You've been fighting a good fight, honey. You've been fighting such a darkness within you, and you haven't been able to see any light even peeking through. There's been no moon in the distance. You haven't even been able to tap into a better energy. You've been stuck in the depths of pain, and my heart broke. You've been stuck in the depths of pain for too long. It is time for you to emerge from this. it's been time for you to emerge from this painful place that you've been in and follow any glints of light. It might be hard to see, but there's been a glint of light in the sky. It's time to grab hold of your team and let them pull you out of this quicksand type of like dark energy that you've been in. It's time to come out. So it might be time as well to do some self-cleansing rituals for you. I have, take a bath if you can, and fill it with warm water, of course. You could take a cold bath if you wanted to. But what you're going to do is take a salt bath and add limes. Please don't have any open sores or wounds on you. But my grandmother always recommended, when I'm having bouts of nightmares, to take a bath and chop limes. What you're going to do is take the bath, fill it, add a handful of salt, Epsom salt, not table salt, but really Epsom salt, or I would use a pinch maybe of coarse salt or something, just a lighter amount of table salt if that's all you have to make salt water, but you're going to want Epsom salt to not dry your skin out. And of course, you're going to shower after you do this. So pre-shower, water, salt, limes. You're going to cut the limes and put them at each 4 corners of the bath. Relax, breathe, enjoy yourself, pray, and do how you connect usually. Pray to the sacred bloodline, pray to God, and ask for, I would say pray to your bloodline, but pray for your bloodline and pray to God and just ask for that protection and coverage. And I promise you, by the end of that bath, I had to get out when I took this bath. The 4 limes will be at a lime cut into 4 pieces will be at each corner of the bath. And by the time I got out the bath, the last time I did this, the limes actually kind of stunk. And I do believe that was me clearing, and not like I had to, not like passing any gas or anything, and not in a dirty way. I think it's a very spiritual thing to understand where I'm coming from by knowing what it is to clear energy. When you see black incense smoke, when you smell a funk that can't be really described, that you're getting, that, even putting salt at the 4 corners of your house, you have to understand what I'm talking about. There's a way to cleanse that dark vibration, and it takes time, but just have some faith in yourself, have some faith in God, and be prepared to move forward, that there's a course of action. You're going to look back and see how you've grown. This is only the beginning. You're going to look back and see how much you've grown to and surprise yourself. So with that, I think we had a full, beautiful spread. My lovely friends, wow, goodness gracious, so that's a 45 minutes. You are beautiful, you are divine, you are protected, you are cared for deeply and immensely. While you feel like you are so low, know that there is somewhere brighter and better coming along, and you will be able to free yourself from this pain. So with that, with love and light, with thought and procuring protection, you have it, and you are safe. You will be safe anyway coming out of this. And you have the power to pull yourself out. So with that, my love, I bid you adieu. Until next time, take care, be well, be safe, and I will see you soon in the next reading. Hey, Pile 3. So let's get right into your reading, shall we? I have pulled down my lovely crow feather that I found on my journey when I was on my last day of work. But this is not the crow we're speaking of today. We're speaking about the raven spirit totem. But I figured, they are quite similar in nature. I think, but the raven is more intuitive, I would say. So we're gonna check this out and hop right into your reading. Got a pretty good shot of that purple fluorite. The shop did call it multicolor, but I think it's more of a purple fluorite. I thought it was rainbow fluorite, but rainbow fluorite's too bright. So maybe purple fluorite. And we're gonna tap in. So from your energy already, as I burned your incense, it was a beautiful, beautiful plume of smoke. It was strong and it was steady the way that the smoke plumed. I will drop a clip of that video so you can see the energy I'm talking about. And that's just as I was preparing to, as I was preparing and cleansing the space to tap into your Raven spirit totem. It showed me that this might be the most powerful reading of the bunch in today's reading. I feel so much ancient wisdom coming from you. And pile 2, the ancient wisdom was being passed down from their bloodline, but this wisdom comes from within with pile 3. Pile 3's wisdom comes from within. And I believe that's due to maybe meditation that you do daily. You have to be tapped into a certain kind of energy to feel what I felt from you. So do you meditate regularly? You had beautiful plumes of smoke coming from the incense. You feel like an old soul. Actually, I heard old soul. The Raven is known for being cunning and prophetic. So to me, you seem like a highly intelligent person. The Raven, fun fact, or fun lore, would be the Raven is the first creature that Noah released. So the verse reads, "Then he sent out a raven I think it's meant to be while kept going to and fro until the waters had dried up from the earth." So Noah sent out a raven to check if the flood was over, if the flooding had subsided, and sent that raven from the window of the ark that he made. And then he sent out a dove. I believe the difference for me, what shows, is that the raven always came back. I mean, there was nowhere for that raven to perch, but that raven came back time and time again to let Noah know what was happening. I mean, technically, couldn't the raven have perched on top of the boat and just have not come back? But the raven notoriously came back to Noah, which led me to think of loyalty, as your character is of loyal character. Maybe with prophetic, you could be a messenger of God. You could have prophetic dreams. You could just get a feeling of that claircognizance. Just a feeling of knowing the message. And ravens are also quite large in nature as well. They can get up to the size of a red-tailed hawk. So they are quite large corvids. You are able to tap into your sources, your knowledge, best when you are alone. In these times, you get the message on helping and guiding others on the path. You are on the path to becoming a great teacher, if you not already are one. Don't forget the techniques that help cleanse your spirit with the fluorite. Don't forget the techniques that help cleanse your spirit after spiritual work. When you grow weary, purple fluorite can ease the mind, aiding release of tension and anxiety. You may see darker imagery and pick up on the supernatural easier than others. It is a protective stone, and its frequency brings order to chaos and wards off dark energy. If you don't already, pray for your gift of discernment, and pray for that gift of discernment to be protected. Pray for the discernment of knowing beyond that of which your ears can hear. I also hear drink more water, or I feel drink more water. You might have a thirst, but also a thirst for knowledge too. I feel like you might be the bookworm of the bunch, that you feel implored to learn more and more. I feel like maybe you may absorb the knowledge. You could have a library in your home or a collection of books if you collect anything. All right, let's dive right in. Holy Spirit, my angels, Michael, Joviel, Uriel, and Raphael, I ask that you guide my hands and help aid me in learning and passing on any knowledge for pile 3. I think we're just ready to go. What does pile 3 need to know from the Raven Spirit? Any symbolism, any adventures that they've been through? They're on a path of learning more knowledge and becoming the teacher, I believe. They're on the path to becoming a teacher. So how can they hone these skills? How do they step into this new light, this new era that one wanted to come out? It was not going back in the deck. This new light, this new era. What is in the future for pile 3? Wow. Any trials and tribulations, any pain? Pain. On the bottom of the deck, we have 8 of Wands. All right. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wow. Even the colors are coming through. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the cards and see if anything else needs to come out. And yeah. All right, pile 3, let's jump right into your reading. So, got your cards situated. We have Ace of Wands and 6 of Wands in companionship with each other as far as relating to each other card-wise. How can pile 3 step into this new light in this new era? Ace of Wands. What is pile 3's future prediction? 10 of Cups in reverse, Ace of Pentacles, the Hanged Woman, and the Hermit in reverse. And when we asked any pain, King of Wands in reverse and 2 of Wands upright came out. And the overall energy of this reading is the 8 of Wands energy. Your flame is burning nice and bright, tall and strong. Ace of Wands to 6 of Wands, stepping into a new light and era. Your gift is ripe for the picking. It's time to shine as the teacher. You've been entrusted as a guide. Do you fear? That is what... Sorry. Your gift is ripe for the picking. It's time to shine as a teacher. You've been entrusted as a guide. Do you fear that what is being asked of you is too much? The universe would have not given you this gift if it knew you could not handle it. I hear victory. I hear victory. I hear my God is great. My God is good. Like rejoicing in the victory, rejoicing in what might go well or what has been going well. This is your sign. The Ace of Wands is your sign to expand. Follow your gut and your intuition. It'll feel more like instinct because it was meant for you. People will notice what you've done and cheer for you. There will be challenges, but you will overcome them. Your passion is like a hot air balloon, and it'll take off with a thrill. There will be a thrill at takeoff, that feeling of lighting the fire underneath and being whisked away into the wind. Wonder and awe as you float on, smooth sailing. You'll be able to move in confidence. Confidence. You know, confidence makes me think too, moving in silence, moving in confidence, speaking and telling only people that are truly within your circle, and being vigilant with who you give that information to and when you're thriving. But I feel like you would know better. You will know who it is. You will know who it is that supports you. Remember to give thanks when you make it in and between milestones. I'm getting the imagery of you in ceremony, you doing group work with a group of other people, men and women. It feels like it's not limited to who it is. It just feels that feeling of community and doing community work as well. As far as it feels like an ayahuasca ceremony is what I was feeling. Or something similar, or minus the substance, but definitely a ceremony of gathering, especially as the seasons change. You'll have a bird's eye view. That's where your discernment's leading you. To have a bird's eye view and wisdom that grounds you. Wisdom that grounds you, humble one. And for your future tense, with a Ten of Cups in reverse, it feels like others will try you and test your energy. You must remain a mountain, unshakable. You will peer on from your branch in hindsight. That energy of I'm staying out of this, rising above. If you need me, I'll be over there, is what it feels like. It might feel natural to try and keep the peace during quarrels amongst your peers or people within your family and friend group. And like a true leader, when children argue, you'll act accordingly. With the Ace of Pentacles, again with expansion, you've got good people around you. New ventures and opportunities. You will try to keep the peace like a true leader when children quarrel. And you act accordingly. With Ace of Pentacles, new ventures and opportunities that you've worked for become fruitful. It might sweep you off your feet, this offer, this new opportunity. For example, you could salvage and repair a disagreement. For example, picture this. You could salvage or repair a disagreement and later be rewarded because you handled it so well. You could be rewarded because of how well you handled the dispute. Don't let emotional blocks keep you down too long. With Ten of Cups in reverse. Don't let these emotional blocks keep you down. Ten of Cups and Hangwoman. It's okay to weigh out the options. Rest and meditate in these times and prepare to move into wisdom. Ask for discernment in this time and don't rush. There's a big picture to look at here. You may get so caught up as hangwoman as a forced pause from spirit. Hermit. So while you're in that position with Hermit, it leaves you time to reflect and see all of the doors open around you. Breathe and connect with your higher self before taking flight. If you fall out of practice due to busy life, make time. 10 to 15 minutes of meditation a day is all you need to connect. If you don't need peace, not if you don't, but if you need peace though, do it while the car heats up. Do it in times where you know you're gonna have like 15 minutes to yourself in the shower. Take those times to reflect inward. When we miss that inner reflection, we miss the possible message that's being given to us. Fluorite stone can help your dream state if you end up connecting through your subconscious. You don't have to do it alone. Don't confine yourself, but use your solo time to find clarity and purpose. Stay connected. Leading us to over here with the King of Wands in reverse and the Two of Cups. There's more of a bigger picture, and same thing with the Hermit in reverse and the King of Wands. There's a bigger picture here. I think all of these talk about the big picture. All of these have to do with something further down the road that you can't see quite yet. You could be in Aries with all this fiery, passionate energy. Moving from places of pain, because we ask, what is this pain, or any pain? We're moving from these places of pain, I think in between these two places, dealing with the pain body and fear. Watch yourself and check yourself when you become snappy. You don't know who to trust as you step into this new craft. And while you are excited to get into a new field and know roughly how to navigate, don't chomp someone else off because you didn't want to assert yourself, or because you feel like you must assert yourself. I feel like you tend to roll your eyes when you get annoyed. Beware of expecting people to hold it down for you like they owe you something. Your venture could take off easily, but you don't want to leave a sour taste in folks' mouths. Move with humility and stay grounded. Move with humility as if your grounded self would. As your grounded self would. New beginnings are coming to you. And with Eight of Wands too, this is a thumbs up from the universe. That what you're asking for, that the gift that's already yours is just being alchemized. You are being blessed as an example to others. Cleanse your energy when the load of all of this is too much to bear. And when tension and anxiety attempt to reclaim you, don't let it stick. Heal and let go. All right, Holy Spirit, Raphael, Uriel, Jophiel, Michael. Guide my hands as I search for this wisdom within. We're going to pull some tarot cards on what to expect when 3 surrenders. What to expect when pile 3 surrenders to their gift, when they surrender to the universe. In these times of distress, what can pile 3 expect when they surrender? I feel resistance. What is this resistance? What is this resistance? Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. The Devil in reverse and 3 of Swords in reverse. This goes back to the pain body and the fear. that it's hard to release the pain that we feel sometimes and let go so we can move on. How do you release what you're clinging to? How do you release what you're so attached to? You can't surrender when you are locked into this energy, but know that the breakthrough is coming. An ace and an 8. Again, new job and dedication. I feel like you're going to be so tucked into where you are in this new job. You must be aware of this old pain that you fought and worked so hard to release, of it creeping back up in your hindsight, keeping back up behind you. Hold yourself to a higher standard, because that's what comes along with your gift, is the mastery. You're being put in a position of being a teacher and honing in on a skill that has taken so long to get to this point. You're in a high point of wisdom. Feeling this old energy creep back over you, it takes a lot, but I see you detaching from it and releasing this energy. You know that you have to do your shadow work. You know that you have been in recovery, and you might have had dealt with this pain already. And so look to the future and look to moving on. Know that you don't have to harbor and hold on to this pain and recluse in that aspect. You don't have to stay recluse this whole time. You don't have to stay in suspension to know where to move next. And it could put you back in a loop and a cycle too of having to go back and do introspection, which would thus keep you from being able to move forward and do what Spirit's asking you to do what the universe is coaxing you towards when you are looking back over your shoulder in the pain, from the pain body, when you look out into life from a painful point of view and you haven't done your healing. You know how much harder it is to step out into the world and do what must be done. So don't be afraid when you do surrender that the devil might rear its ugly head, but just know that you have already had the victory, and that through the dark thoughts that you might have try to relapse, that you will release, that you will detach, and that you will make a new way into new ventures, that you'll be able to move on from wherever it was in your headspace that is telling you can't do it. That's simply not true. What are 3 symbols that pile 3 will see? I don't know why I said 3 symbols, but I wanted to see a handful of symbols that pile 3 will see as they step into this new wake of their self. Looks like your patience will be rewarded, my dear. So I hold a headache, heart and home, and chocolate. So let's just knock out the nitty-gritty first. If you notice yourself in poor health and your body is telling you that you need to rest, take that time to rest. Don't resist that need to rest, but know that when we are in spaces that pull from When your mind is, how do I put this? Something will feel off when you're in a place that you're not supposed to be, and things can go wrong back to back. And you'll wonder, why the heck is this happening? Why am I sick all the time? Why is my body and my energy filled off? And if you catch yourself in those moments of knowing that something is off and you go back to it like, yeah, that's different, that's weird, and then you keep getting sick, it's best to kind of cut that part out and try a new venture. Maybe that venture wasn't simply for you. Don't be afraid to turn your back on things that you might be able to reflect on and be like, okay, maybe it's not me, maybe it's this, maybe it's, you know, the way that you proceeded into something, but know that you don't have to stay there. Take a rest day. It's okay to take sick days. It is okay to take 6 days. Do not get burnt out. Maybe that's what we're saying. It's okay to take sick days. Don't get burnt out. Heart and home. Happiness, security, love, kindness, family. I feel like this goes back to Ten of Cups in reverse with the family and the happy home. You can, I feel like you're the leader of the household. While it might not be like specifically your house, or you might go into your parents and then feel like you're still the leader, and maybe not the head of the household, but you're the leader of the household. Or you could very well be mom of the house. The leader in that aspect of being the lady of the house. Don't forget to lay your boundaries down with family members that try to cross your line. It's okay to tell mom and dad no every once in a while. They will have to understand and respect how long and how far you're willing to go. And sometimes putting those people first put our creativity on the back burner. And we can't risk that. We can't risk missing out on what we're supposed to be doing for the collective and for our success by looking or getting locked into our house life. And know that your reward too, another symbol would be your rewards. The good stuff, doing things right, would result in feeling the riches. You might end up meeting a special person or just having that part of creativity and passion engaged. So you might just find date nights are easier, attraction might be easy during this time. A special someone could be glinting through your life, or new options. There's a whole bunch of new opportunities and new options on your way coming towards you. Fine dining. You could taste things more deeply and be ultimately satisfied. Sometimes a pause from spirit is a good thing. You'll be able to tap into what you need by having an off day and relaxing into yourself. And let's see how we can discern more clearly. What do we have? Maybe some one cards. So one is the best time for pile 3. When is the best time for pile 3? To tap into their discernment. When is the best time for pile 3 to tap into discernment? How will they know when? Will it be a season? Will it be a time? Will it be when will they feel that gut feeling? When will they feel that claircognizance? how often do they feel that discernment? Or when do they feel that discernment most strongly? In the coming months. Alright, and we're just going to pull some messages for pile 3 from the Cosmic Oracle to figure out how you can tap into your gift of discernment. Any tips, any tips on pile 3 tapping into their gift of discernment? Holy Spirit, I'm going to break apart from my energy and into theirs. Pile 3 for gifts of discernment. Pile 3 tapping into the gift of discernment. Oh! Stop pushing against what is, align with it and move on. Maybe any resistance that you have been feeling, that regression with looking into the past could keep you from tapping into the light of your discernment. Maybe that feeling of the clarity of your discernment goes away while you are in regression. Even now, I kind of just got angry at my cat, to be quite honest. And I just shouted her out of the room. And even then, that moment took, I think, some of the goodness out of the last bit of my good energy. And when I tried pull again, it went back to my energy and was like, you're being cold. And, you know, Queen of Swords in reverse energy. Treat your cat better, and Strength in reverse. You're acting like a coward. So don't yell at your cat, you know. Basically, I need to do better. So I think a lot of the times we don't understand how strong energy moves and how strong energy is. And when we push against the grain, we're just, again, blocking our gift that Spirit's trying to give to us, that Spirit did give to us. And by blocking our gift, we're blocking something for other people as well. And it ends up becoming a selfish plight. And we have to learn how to move forward past that, and so we can help others and truly finish the mission and complete the mission at the end of the day. So how can they move forward? Their gift of discernment. Any tools? Tap into music. Music helps us tap into our feminine energy. The sign that you might end up hearing from the verses in the songs might have been reaching out to you. The universe is speaking to you through music. Remember that it's happy to be okay. Really, it is. So these wisps of this blue energy, that coldness, even there's a cold pack on this puppy's head. I think sometimes we wallow in the sadness and we attach to old pain, and it doesn't help us move any forward when we are tethered by the ankle and by the neck to the devilish parts of our feelings. How do we help others and move into the mastery and the mastery of this gift and being a teacher when you keep doing things that left you as a student for so long? So by letting go of this older energy, you're able to lighten the load. How can you expect new things to come in the door when you are holding on and hoarding old past pain? Nothing new and nothing bright will be able to, or maybe not nothing, but not as many bright and beautiful things will be able to come in your way because you're only allowing yourself to be at a certain capacity to hold. You're really just doing yourself a disservice. You're not allowing yourself to take in what could be given to you. And by doing yourself a disservice, you're doing the rest of the collective a disservice. So with this energy, just clean this up so you can maybe pause this and get some last thoughts. Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, between that chocolate heart and home, headache, your oracle cards, Three of Swords in reverse and the Devil in reverse, with the King of Wands in reverse and Two of Wands upright. We have Six of Wands upright against the Hermit in reverse, Hangwoman, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Cups in reverse, and I've given the Ace of Wands. These two go together with the crow feather. So with this, I will end this reading here. I need to go recharge myself, and with that, I again usher you to not holding on to any of the darker weighted side of your energy and releasing it for not just the greater good of yourself, but the greater good of others, because your energy is bright and beautiful and deserves to be celebrated. I don't even think the bottom of this reading might have got in there, but there's, yeah, the last bit of these cards that I was talking about. But with that, I thank you and for joining me today for today's reading. Pile 3, don't give up on yourself, and just take your time to slowly chew through these emotions. With that, I bid you adieu and have a splendid evening, or, you know, whatever time of day. Take care. See ya.